I'm doing well.
Now, what is your name?
Nehemiah Hargrove.
Nehemiah Hargrove. Now, clear as day, you have a professional outlook, and we've talked plenty of times off camera about your past and things that you've done to portray this professional outlook on different stages and different levels. Now, for people who don't know you, can you give a little bit of context behind like the importance of having a professional outlook on your day-to-day?
I think it's really important to always put your best foot forward, to always show that you lead with integrity, and if you have a job or whatever field that you're in, that you're making that first and foremost more evident than anything, without sacrificing your individuality or your personality for that. But remember, if you're in a professional setting, to do that without losing yourself, but showing that's also something else that you possess, because that yields better results and more respect at the workplace.
Children having a role model who they can clearly see, who is, putting value on how they look before they leave the house. Maybe it's brushing their hair and looking in the mirror before they leave, grooming themselves a little bit. How do you feel about knowing the standard that you put forth, knowing that your child is going to have that role model and have that backing as he gets older?
I think it's really important to really showcase the ability to show that you have a professional side, and that if you are this kind of depiction of a successful male or masculinity, to be, either dirty or have rough hands, or not to take care of yourself, or not to be prideful of how you present yourself to the world. It was completely different from me and my upbringing, which I passed on to my child, that a man should be able to present himself very well and do take care of himself and take care of his body, clean his nails, make sure he puts lotion on, brushes his hair. Like, you're not taking care of your vessel, you're not honoring your vessel. It's not necessarily about what other people are seeing, just how you feel. Like, how can you really be that top individual, or that top male, or really be that guy if you don't even know how to take care of yourself really well? Mm-hmm. So I think there's a lot that goes into it. It doesn't mean that you always have to care. It's not about anyone else, but self-care is really important. And a lot of the times, if you feel fresh, if you feel good about how you look, or just feeling clean, or that you're putting in that extra effort, makes you feel good, and it also allows the outside world to see this person, this man, or this child really takes care of himself. And it's not necessarily a gender thing, even when it comes to women, or however you identify. A lot of people really respond to that effort, because a lot of times first impressions mean a lot. Doesn't take away from you if you don't invest in your looks or anything like that. It just kind of gives people insight to what you pay attention to, what you find important for yourself.
100%. Now, is there any, can you give a little bit of like resume in regards to that audition, that performance that you won way back when you were younger, the modeling that you've endeavored in?
Actually, in 2008, I won Twin Cities Next Top Model. It was like a local competition, like for the state of Minneapolis. From Minneapolis, for those who don't know, Twin Cities are Minneapolis and St. Paul. And from there, even before that, actually, my mother, she was always the person in high school, testing fashion. My father and my grandfather, every time that they stepped out, they always make sure they had suits and everything. And so even on my mother's side, she was Puerto Rican, my grandfather, like everybody just had this thing about them of, we put our best foot forward, and just kind of to help showcase kind of like who we are, like we are capable of that. And especially when there's already so much of people looking down on minorities and other ethnic type of groups, that's not something that we possess, or it's not important to us, which is completely irrational, like completely invalid. So taking it to that level and kind of being, feeling like I'm representing those who felt not seen, or dismissed, or bullied, or not feeling attractive, or anything like that, that kind of went all into me doing this competition and kind of standing on that, and being vocal about that when they would ask me different questions or whatnot about why it was important to me. And I felt like that's something that I possess, those are things that I've dealt with. And I wanted to show, like, you can still come from that type of background, but still kind of move forward and grow and find your own identity in how you present yourself and what it means to you.
100%. Now, for those who are listening, clearly you can see that he's sharp and all that and things of that nature. One day, and just to give a little bit more context, he is also my post commander, aka my manager, aka my boss. So to give a little context, one day I came into work and I had like an afro. And the first thing he said, he was like, "Hey, you plan on getting that braided, brother?" so just being around, Nehemiah, obviously, it's like there's something in the back of your mind that knows that you have to carry yourself a certain way, not just internally but externally. All that is just as equally as important. So, with all that being said, do you mind if this goes on the internet, sir?
I don't.
All right, appreciate you.